Hello, YouTube. I hope you're doing well. Today we're on code.org. We're in Unit 4, Lesson 11, Part 2. I'm actually on Part 1 right now because I just want to demonstrate the app so that you can see some of the pieces of the app before we start building out what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and click Run, and I'm going to go ahead and type in some text. We can see that in the quote box, that as I type, it's instantly updated on the app itself. On our activity guide, it tells us to try a couple of combinations for font family, color, and font size. The first thing it says that we should do is choose the color lavender and choose the font Lucinda. So let's go ahead and select our font family. And we'll choose lavender. And we can see here at the bottom of the app that it says nice design. That message will change if we do different inputs. The next combination it tells us to choose is light green. And we can see that when that happens, looking fresh appears at the bottom. And as I move my slider around, it's only when it's here do we actually see that message. So now that we've seen a little bit of the app, let's go ahead and jump into Part 2. So as you work through the activity guide, you needed to come up with a few things, such as your variables. For this, we're going to need 4 different variables, and it's really going to correlate with the different inputs on this screen. So let's go ahead and create 4 variables. The first variable that we're going to create is for this quote box. So let's go ahead and call the variable quote. And we need to set this variable to be something. To begin with, we're just going to do quote, quote, which is going to leave that empty until the text is input. The next variable that we're going to create is for the font family. So for this variable, we're going to go ahead and type in font family. Make sure that you use your camel case for this. We'll do quote, quote again. Again, this will get populated with the selection later when we use the get text input. The next variable that we're going to create is the color. And the color is referring to this background right here. We can see that this is light gray. So we're going to go ahead and put that in. You don't have to start with that color, but that's what it is by default. So we'll go ahead and keep that. The final variable that we're going to use is the font size. So we'll go ahead and use that same name from the app. And we'll go ahead and start the app at 20, the size. Something that you should see is this slider right here for font size. If I click on the design button and I select font size, the slider, we can see that it takes input. The minimum value here is 10. It's currently set at 20 and the maximum value is going to be 30. And it's going to do 2 steps in between each of those numbers. And that's important that you understand this button. And of course, as we click on different things, we can see the different settings for each of those. Before we move on, we should go ahead and note what this is. So let's add a comment up at the top. Remember, notes are important, not just for you, but anybody else that might be reviewing your code. So now that we've created our variables, what we're going to do is create 4 different on-event sections within our code. So we'll go to the UI controls. Do this one. The first thing that we're going to do is update the quote input, and that's this section right here. If you weren't sure what this was called, again, if you hover over the app while it's not running, it'll tell you what the ID is. And so we can match that up here from this drop down. So now we need to decide what do we want to put inside of this function. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to update our variable. So we'll go ahead and select this one, assign a variable. In our quote section, we're going to be updating our quote variable. So let's go ahead and type in quote. We need to go back to the UI controls. For this, we're going to go ahead and get text. We're going to select quote input. So that way, whatever's put in here is updated within the quote. a little bit later, we're going to go ahead and create a function that updates all of this as we're doing it. And so at some point, we're going to have to come back to this on event and have that function running at the end. We're not going to do that right now, though. Let's go ahead and add a comment to this section. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click show text here. And I'm just going to add a couple of spaces to break up my code. The next on event that we need to do is we're going to add one for the font family. So let's go to the UI controls. We'll do on event. We'll go back to show text just to add some space between these two. Click show blocks. For this on event, the ID is going to be font family. Font family input. In previous projects, the on click is what we wanted, but for this, we're actually going to change this to be change. We're going to have the font family variable updated. So we'll go to the variables. We'll select this one. We'll type in font family. We'll need to go back to the UI controls because we need to get text. The text that we want is the font family input. And then later on, we'll go ahead and add that function. Let's go ahead and comment out this. The next thing that we're going to update is our color variable. So let's go back to the UI controls. We'll do on event. Go ahead and add my returns to break up this text. For this, we're going to go ahead and select color input. We're going to change from click to change. We need to update our color variable. We'll put that in here. Go ahead and do color. We're going to go back to the UI controls to select get text. This is again going to be color input. So we'll select that. Let's go ahead and comment out our code. All right, and we have to create one more on event. So we'll go back to UI controls. Click and drag that down. We need to update our font size variable. Click and drag that in. We're going to go back to the UI controls because we need to go ahead and get number. We've been selecting get text, but this one's going to be get number. This is going to be called font size, and I believe it's going to be input. Let's go ahead and comment out our code. All right, so at this point, we've created our variables and we have created our on events. Now what we need to do is create a function that does a few things. It's going to set some text on the app screen. It's going to update our color, our font family, and our font size based upon the selections that we have. Then within that function, we need to go ahead and create an if-else-if statement. Because remember when we had a specific set of combinations, certain text would display on the screen if we met those requirements. So let's go ahead and begin doing that. We're going to go ahead and do this right here, function. And I'm sure there's an easier way to do it, and I just haven't figured it out yet, but I'm going to go to show text just to separate this out. If you have found an easier way, go ahead and leave a comment below. For the function here, we could leave it as my function. That would be fine. What code.org has been using is update screen because of what it's been doing. Ultimately, you should make the function name something that makes sense for your program. Because code.org has used the update screen, we'll go ahead and use that. So let's go ahead and start setting our text. We're going to go to the UI controls. We're going to go ahead and select set text. The first one that we're going to do is this right here. quote output. We'll go ahead and delete this section here. And what we're going to do is use our variable quote, and that'll populate on the screen based upon that. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to choose set property. And we're actually going to need this 3 different times. One's going to be for the font family, one's going to be for background color, and one's going to be for the font size. Let's go ahead and do the first one as quote output. What we're going to change here is going to be our font family. So we'll select that. And this is not what we want here. So we're going to delete this out. And we're just going to type in our variable font family. The next thing that we're going to do is change our color output. And that's going to go in this section. We'll change width to background color. And for this, we're going to go ahead and change this to be the variable color. And just as a reminder, what we're using is our variables from the top that we created. The final one that we're going to do is we're going to change the quote output again. This time, instead of width, we're going to choose font size. And we'll change this number here to be the font size variable. And I did this in this order, but you could change this up a little bit if you wanted to. Let's go back to our control because this time we want the if else. And we'll click and drag that below. This is where we're going to look for a combination of things. In our activity guide, the first thing it tells us that we need to do is to look to see if the variable is lavender and the font family is Lucinda Sands. So in our if portion, we need to use the and comparator. We use this one right here. And then we're going to need 2 of the equals so that it looks specifically to see if the text is the same. So we'll do that on both sides. And if you drop it in the wrong place like I just did, that's okay. Just click and drag it out and put it in the correct spot. So the first one is going to be the variable color. And the string of text that we're looking for is lavender. Remember to use your quotation marks. The next one that we're going to look at is to see if the font family variable is set to the text Lucida Sands. Or remember, we're putting those in quotation marks because it's considered a string. If that criteria is met, we want to go ahead and set our text. So we're going to go to the UI controls, set text. This section down here is called the feedback, and I'm thinking it's probably output. So let's see what we have here. Feedback output, and we want to put the text great combo based upon what we saw when we were playing around with the part 1 of the app. We need to create an else if because we have another criteria we need to look at. The else if is going to be very similar to what we just did. We're going to use the and. We're going to use 2 equal signs to see if something is specific. This time what we're looking for is our color light green, and we're looking to see if our font size is a specific size. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do color. Does that equal? The number I'm going to use here is 20. It doesn't tell us which to use. Some things to note, we might have misspelled our string of text here. And so we might need to go and check to make sure that what we typed matches what is going to be input based upon what they have as the list. We want to go back to the UI controls. We're going to set our text here. We're going back to the feedback output. And this time we want our text to say looking fresh. And then our else is also going to be set text. We're going back to feedback output. And what it had in the app was nice design. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and add a comment to this section. this comment is a little generic. You might want to add a little bit more to it. The final thing that we need to do before we begin testing our app is to call this function within the different events. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll click and drag this over. We called this update screen. And what we're going to do is put in each of these on events. The final thing that we need to do is test the app to see if it works. So let's click run. And as soon as we run the app, it says on line 30, I'm missing something. So let's go ahead and see what I missed. This ID is the font size. We'll go ahead and reset to make sure that we don't have any issues this time. And I've left this in the video because you should see that even your teacher makes mistakes from time to time. And if you make mistakes, it's just part of the process. That's okay. So let's go ahead and type in some text. Let's go ahead and test our first one. We'll choose the Lucida text. We'll select lavender. We can see that my text isn't displaying on the screen. That's an issue. We'll need to go ahead and debug that. So I'm going to go to the design. We'll click and drag this down. So part of this is, I think we might have typed our text in wrong. Let's go back to our code. I'm going to copy that text. The reason the text wasn't updating is because it wasn't put here as change. It was on click. Again, I'm leaving this in the video so that you can see the issue and you can feel confident that even though you made mistakes, you can still complete the task. The other thing that we were told to do is to make the text light green. And we can see in this dropdown that light green is all one word. There's no break. And let's change our font size and let's see if it updates. Looking fresh here, and we go out of that, it changes. If you use this video to work your way through this project, that's okay. But what I want to encourage you to do is to click on the version history and reset it back to its default so that you could redo this again. The purpose of this project is not for you to get a good grade. The purpose of this project is for you to put to practice the skills that you learned in this unit and put those skills to practice. There were a few ways we could have done this. What's important is that you feel comfortable using the different toolboxes found on code.org and that you understand how to put it all together. On something like this, you might have to run through this project a few times before you really start to understand what's going on. Once you've completed your project, make sure you click finish.